You can kill me, dog, but how will you kill my thoughts? Staring into the eyes of death in the last few moments of his life, he kept on screaming these words that even if he becomes silent forever today, the ideology that he has started will never end. At the age of 40, this man not only left his mark on the pages of history, but also created such a martial law of revolution that remained alive even 50 years after his death. At the age of 15, when he was asked by his college to go to a political rally, he said that he should go to the rally so that the police chase away the batons and markers. If I have to be sent to the rally, then give me a gun. Despite not having a gun, he put his life at stake to free this country from the clutches of America's puppet government. He fought for the independence of not only India but also many other countries. It is a different matter that today some people see him as a hero, and some others see him as a stubborn revolutionary who only knew how to respect his thoughts, and there are some countries where Czech Jewry is not accepted. Che Guevara came to be known as a terrorist after taking control of the Caucasus. If Che Guevara wanted, he could have ruled the Caucasus with Sridevi and Castro for his entire life. But Che Guevara's life was not limited to only getting freedom for a country. Rather, he wanted to uproot capitalism from this world. Che Guevara was a drop of rebellion, whose only aim in life was to keep the revolution alive. Capitalist countries like America called him a terrorist, while on the other hand, communist countries called him a revolutionary. But the truth is that a person's character is never completely white or completely black. So in such a situation, it would not be right to bind him in one definition. Who is Che Guevara, and why, even after 50 years of his death, history has not forgotten him? Why even today Che Guevara is considered the poster boy of revolutionaries? Che Guevara was not always known as Che Guevara, but his real name was the enmity of Ernesto Rafael, which he had got from his birth. Che Guevara was born. He was born in Rosario, Argentina, to Ernesto Guevara Lancha and Cilia de la Sarambiosa on June 14, 1928. He was the eldest of 5 children. His family was counted among a middle-class family, due to which Chan never had to face any shortage of money. He was born in Argentina, but his sister was from Ireland, due to which Chan heard many stories of Ireland from his grandmother since childhood, and while growing up, he read so much about the Ireland that even though he did not live there, he used to know even the smallest news about the Ireland. Not only this, he was very fond of reading since childhood, due to which he read every single book in his house. There was a library of 3,000 books in his house, where he used to spend more than half of his time reading. Along with reading, he was also very interested in doing many scientific experiments. He had a laboratory in the garage of his own house where he used to do many chemical experiments. He had suffered from asthma since childhood. Although Kamal was a victim of asthma, he was a very good athlete, swimmer, football owner, shooter, cyclist, and national-level track player. Not only this, by the age of 12, Kamal had learned to play cricket from his father. He was also interested in poetry and politics from a very young age. Because of this, he had read many leaders like Pablo Neruda and John Keats to Karl Marx, William Fortune, Bloody Mary, Lenin in his childhood. Because of this, it was not everyone's cup of tea to compete with him in terms of knowledge. Because of this deep interest, Kamal was also considered an intellectual. Music. In 1948, he took admission in Chennai University of Buenos Aires to study medicine, and from here, he got the idea of exploring the world. Because of this, along with his studies, he also toured the world, which completely changed his way of looking at the world. He took his first trip to northern Argentina, and he even traveled to provinces, which was about 4.30 thousand kilometers. The thing is that Chan completed this journey alone with the help of a bicycle fitted with a small engine. After his first expedition, he worked as a medical assistant for some time in Argentina, and then after a few years, he again set out on his second and most memorable journey for the entire 8 miles. This trip proved to be the biggest turning point in Chan's life. On this trip, he went on an 8,000-mile motorcycle journey with his friend Alberto Grando in 1952, and then his life and his thinking changed forever. During his entire journey, Chan traveled to many countries, cities, and villages. Everywhere he got to know and learn many things. But one thing that left a deep impact on him was the condition of the peasants, the farmers, and the poor. He saw people working in the scorching sun for hours for a few bucks, and still without a blanket, children and old people starving on the streets. He saw how the rich are becoming impoverished due to capitalism. The rich are becoming richer, and the poor are becoming poorer. The Japanese should keep a diary with them during the entire journey and note down the date and time at every place. Along with that, he used to write about his experiences in it. Later, these experiences of Jai got the title of a book named The Motorcycle Diaries, which later became a New York Times bestseller. In the year 2004, a film with the same name was made in which the entire motorcycle journey of Jai was shown. Jai started being active in politics and evolution. His journey changed him so much that despite being from a rich family, he spent his entire life working for his close ones. During this motorcycle journey, when Chan saw the plight of the people suffering from poverty and misery in a Latin American country, he came back with a new name, Jai Guevara, and a new thinking. This time, the Guevara who had returned started a revolution against capitalism. Jai started his revolution from Goa in 1953. At that time, the president here was Jacob Guevara, who was working to correct the social economic difference in the society. But at that time, he had to face the U.S., which supported capitalism. This social revolution of Arabia did not bring any success, due to which America decided that they will root out Irvin's government from Guatemala, and after a few years something similar happened. With the help of CIA, America forced Irvin to resign from his post and deployed its military in Guatemala. At this time, the Americans were following every step of America closely and were very angry with the coup of America in Guatemala, as they understood that every progressive left of America will oppose his government in the coming times, due to which they started making many plans for world revolution, and hence the revolution started from Guatemala, where to teach a lesson to America. CIA joined many rebellion groups who were angry with the removal of the Arab government, but due to not being a part of a powerful group at that time, CIA had to say goodbye to Guatemala in the end. By the way, Guatemala was the place that got the name of Jai Guevara in the Revolution of Guatemala. After facing failure, he decided to go to Chennai, Mexico in 1954 and started working as a doctor in the allergy section of a general hospital. But here too, Fidel Castro could not run away from his fate for long, and after some time he met Cuban brothers Fidel and Raul Castro, who were working on overthrowing the puppet government of America. Actually, Cuba was ruled by those two Phalangians Batista, who were military dictators and puppets of America against whom the Federal Republic of Cuba had waged a war. Since independence, America used to fund the Cuban government for its control and indirectly maintain its rule over the Cuba. Batista's government was only trying to keep America happy. The condition of the country was bad, and there was poverty and misery all around. There was an atmosphere of corruption all around the country. In such a situation, Fidel Castro was such a person who stood against the American government and revolted all over the country. Gradually, the middle class of Cuba stood with him. For years, the communication in Cuba was disrupted. Fidel Castro was trying to establish the Batista government, but he did not get any success till then. Then in June 1955, Fidel met Jai Guevara in Mexico City, where both of them became friends to end the dictatorship of Cuba. After this, Fidel Castro entered the government with the concept of a business-level attack. Fidel Castro was so impressed with Jai Guevara's history, and thinking that without thinking twice, he made Jai a member of his 26th of July movement. Under this movement, Fidel Castro, his brother, and a group of 82 weaponized revolutionaries tried to overthrow the Batista government. This group was trained by Jai and Fidel themselves. After putting all their efforts into training, finally Castro and Chan used an old and leaked weapon named Grandma to quietly enter the government. They used a cabin cruiser, but before 6 more groups of cacheros could land the Cub, the Batista government came to know about their escape and brutally crushed the 26th of July movement. But in front of such an army, Jai and Castro's team of 82 people proved weak, and almost all the people were killed. Jai was also among the injured who fled and hid in the mountains of Sir Maestro. Now Jai and the Federals had only one option: to arm the people and violently overthrow the government in the Cub. Even after the miserable failure of the July movement, Jai and Castro did not give up, and this time started to form a new force of his own in the sheer mountains. This time, both the preparations and the people were more than the first time. Here, Chai and Kia got full support from the local people. The people here were very impressed with the history of chai and gastro. While living in Ser Maestro, Chai notices that there is neither a single school for children nor electricity, nor any healthcare facility. Also, more than 40% of the adults in Ser Maestro are illiterate, along with preparing for war. Chai has to open many factories here to make grenades. To end the problem of food, bread bakeries are of Coley cast. Apart from war, Chai also opens many schools here. Not only this, being a doctor, Chai also focuses on healthcare, due to which he opens health clinics. Newspapers are also made available in Ser and Maestro, so that even after being separated from the world, they keep getting all the information. After doing all this, Chai starts becoming very famous among the people. People started considering him as their messiah, and it was here that he met another face of Chai. When the cereals government was formed, Chan started crushing his opponents. Now, whenever Chan suspected someone, he would kill them. Actually, Chan believed that discipline and communism should be there in every human being. So those who did not listen to him or did not pay much attention to training or education, it did not take even 2 minutes to kill them. Chai did not need any proof. He did not hesitate to execute anyone on the basis of suspicion. He just had to suspect that the person in front of him was against him. On this basis only, he would kill people. After preparing themselves and their force for a long time, Chan and Chan slowly started registering victories against the Batista government. By living in these mountains, Chan made his force so expert in guerrilla tactics that nothing could harm that air force, but both of them together started respecting the Batista government. Here, Castro was supporting the Batista government because he always wanted to run a puppet government of his own in order to maintain his control over Cuba, and at that time this work was being done by none other than Batista. Due to constantly deceiving the Air Force and the entire military of Batista, Castro and Che started becoming increasingly popular among the locals, and gradually many people started joining them. Soon people had joined around 800 people with themselves, the result of which was that on January 1st, 1959, Castro challenged the Cuban military from the front and achieved a big victory. With the victory of Castro in Cuba, America also withdrew its hands, and Cuba finally came to power, in which the biggest hand was of none other than Chai. With the formation of the government in Cuba, Castro declared himself the Prime Minister of Cuba and made Che and second in command. Together, the maximum responsibility was given to Che, due to which Che had faith in the ability of Castro and Che, but for years he tried to bring a communist government in Cuba. The people started fearing that there were still people left who worshiped capital in the Caucasus, and with this thought, the work of spreading terror in the Caucasus also started. With the entry in Havana on January 1959, Chai was made the commander of the Caucasus Prefecture, where every person who raised his voice against the Chanakya government was killed. Some were sent to the Caucasus to rot, and some were tortured to death due to gastro fever. Chai was given more responsibilities with time. Like later, he was made the Caucasus of the Industrial Department, president of the National Bank of the Caucasus, and president of the Minister of Industry. Not only this, he also worked as a Caucasus diplomat on behalf of the Caucasus. He kept the Caucasus point of view open all over the world, and to reach his ideas about anti-capitalism to the world. Many times he openly criticized the foreign policy of America. Like the Caucasus, he gave the highest importance to his ideas. Chai Guevara believed that a person of the country should be perfect, and he can be perfect only then when they completely accept and understand the communication and keep all their conduct based on communist ideology. If people do not do this, then they are not perfect, and they do not have any right to live in Cuba. During 1960, the first Cuban concentration camp was built in Cuba, where 6 people were put to make Newman, so that by doing hard work a person can become like a mother. They can evolve, and these concentration camps are for reforming them and bringing them on the right path. Hundreds of Afro-Cuban priests were put in these camps, and they were made to work very hard, so that they leave their anti-communist morals and evolve like Newman. In his time, Chennai Central did many reforms, the most famous of which is considered to be the agrarian reforms. First of all, he took all the industries of America under his control, and their land was also confiscated, and all the industries were nationalized. Privatization almost came to an end. Not only this, just like the China Sira Maestro had focused on literacy, in the same way, he also worked a lot on education in the central government, the result of which was that the literacy rate before 1959 was only around 60%, and by 1969, the same literacy rate reached 96%. By the way, when the chairman got the post of finance minister and president of the National Bank, he first started working on social and economic equality. He did not want that there was no corruption or discrimination in Kibani, and he was so serious about his reforms that he forbade his own wife from taking advantage of government benefits. He did not use any of his government benefits outside the office. His main aim was to teach the people of the Kibani the lesson of unity and equality, for which he was completely against egoism and selfishness. At this time, he also started giving public speeches and writing articles. Some of his famous writings include Mother and Socialism in Kibani, Guerrilla Warfare, 1961. After continuous conflict with America, Kibani and Kibani started joining hands with the Soviet Union. The relations between Kibani and Soviet Union were not only based on trade, but also the way of running the government of both was similar. Both were in support of communism. However, the purpose of Soviet Union to support Kibani was only to target America, because this was a time when the Cold War was going on between America and USSR, and both the countries were very busy in targeting each other. They were leaving no stone unturned. USSR knew that America would not tolerate anyone speaking the Soviet language sitting under their nose. However, the same thing happened. America started hating the relationship between USSR and USSR so much that, first of all, they banned all their American companies in the USSR. The people of the USSR also did not have much interest in keeping friendship with the Americans, because the people of the USSR had made it their mission to uproot capitalism from their country. Seeing the changing colors of the USSR, America gets irritated and cuts off all diplomatic relations and plans against a battle of pigs. To carry out this, some of the Excel Cubans in America were trained and incited against the battle of pigs with proper weapons, but the military of the USSR was so strong that this conspiracy of America in the battle of pigs failed, and the USSR beat the USSR badly. Nothing happened to USSR, but the Fidel Castro and the 6 Guevara were harmed. The anger grew very much. After this, the city offered to install nuclear missiles in Cuba. Both the Lion and the Feds accepted it. Here, the USSR wanted to learn its bread from the enmity of Cuba and America. On the other hand, the Cubans thought that after the missile installation, America would not dare to hang them again. But the opposite happened. After the installation of the missiles in Cuba, the two big countries of the world, the USSR and the US, entered the battlefield against each other. The situation had deteriorated so much that there was a possibility of a third world war at any moment. On this topic, we have also made a separate video named Cuban Missile Crisis, which you can watch on the channel. However, due to the efforts and peacemaking thoughts of both the countries, the USSR removed the nuclear missiles from Cuba, and both the countries came out of the war situation. Although Fidel and the Fed did not want to remove the nuclear missiles from Cuba under any circumstances, but due to the pressure of the USSR, the missiles were removed from Cuba, and there was a rift in the relations between Cuba and the USSR. During this time, Jai stood up in the United Nations General Assembly and criticized it to the fullest. Jai was very angry about America's interference in his personal affairs and surveillance in the cuboid space, which he clearly expressed in this assembly. Jai was living a good life in the cube, but his revolutionary spirit was now moving towards another country in South America, where he wanted to establish communism by bringing a revolution like the cube. That is why, after talking to Castro, he finally left for Cuba to keep the revolution within him alive. For the next 2 years, no one got any news of Jai's existence. Some people thought that Jai was no longer in this world, but it was not so. He was quietly working on keeping his revolution alive in the Republic of Congo. Here, these batteries became a part of civil war along with the Lomon Battalion, but when Chan saw the condition of Patri's army, he was shocked. Actually, Patri's army was a part of the Cuban army. All those who were against the government were neither trained nor did they have any proper plane, although Chan Patrai's force was trained a lot. But the result was that Chan Patrai's had to retreat from here as well. The chakra evolution failed completely here. After fleeing from Congo, Chan Patras made a plan of revolution in Bolivia in 1966 and started leading a guerrilla group secretly in the Santa Cruz region. Initially, this group got some success, but the Bolivian army was very advanced and strong and was also directly supporting the Bolivian government. Due to this, after a while, Chan Patras and his guerrilla group had to be continuously chased away by the Bolivian army. But this game of hide and seek did not last long, and on October 7, 1967, a local man told Chan Patras' address to Chan, after which on October 8, 1967, the CIA and Bolivian army reached here to capture Chan with a force of about 1,800 people. Even after many attempts to save Cheek, the Bolivian army captures him and takes him to a school where he spent his last night, and finally orders are given to execute him. Mario Tyrone is given the task of executing Cheek, but he is clearly told not to put a single bullet on the lion's head. After this, Mario reaches Cheek, and he realizes that he has only a few last moments of his life. And in this moment, he says that, "I know you are here to shoot me tomorrow. You're only going to kill me." After this, Mario leaves Cheek's head and continuously fires 9 bullets in his body, and Cheek dies forever. Bolivian government cuts off Cheek's hands and keeps them with itself, so that it can be proved from the fingerprints of his face that this is none other than Jay. After Jay's death, Castro informed the public about Cheek's death, and a public meeting was held. People were very sad about Cheek's death. Nobody could believe that Jai, who was such a great revolutionary at one time, left this world so easily. Years after his death, in 1997, the remains of Jai and his companions were brought to Cuba, and the last streak was completed with full respect. In honor of Jai Guevara, a statue of him was also built in 2008 at his birthplace, Rosario, Argentina. Jai Guevara is not only seen at that time, but even today people see him as the father of revolution and the face of rebellion. His entire life was spent as a rebel. If he wanted, he could have lived a luxurious life forever like a gastro-owner, but Chan, who remained firm on his thinking, accepted to remain a revolutionary till the last moment of his life. So that's all for today. We hope you liked our video. In the future, we will bring more such informative videos for you. Till then, like our video and subscribe to it for such interesting videos.